How's it going, everybody? Tony here from Kapowcast, bringing you the Loki episode 5 recap. Joining me again this week, Christy.
Hello.
And dude, I gotta remember to do the plugs because I'm really excited about talking about this one. This episode was made up for every drag zone in the past 4 episodes.
Truly, episode 3 has been redeemed by this point.
100% redeemed. But of course, as always, if you're not, and this is your cup of tea, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell for notifications so you're notified every time that we drop any content over here on our channel. Podcast listeners, make sure to hit that follow, that download, that share, whatever it is. And, make sure this week, if you like us, show a friend. Have some friend time. Be like, hey, check these guys out.
This is the show and tell.
The show and tell episode. Because it was that good that you should be showing everybody.
He did just open a switchblade while saying that, so take that as you would like. I fear for my safety right now.
I totally need a fidget spinner or something when we're doing these things.
Somebody get us one of those little rainbow poppers that you find. The other one I found was a butterfly. I feel like you would have just immediately thrown that at me.
There was like a whole kit caboodle of them at 7-Eleven at the counter.
Yes, that's where I found it.
I was like, these are huge though. They're like that.
They're
like a serving tray size thing. I'm like, that's a little ridiculous. Like just carrying that around every day. Like,
yeah. Comment your recommendations for a keychain sized fidget tool.
Yeah, I need something. Like it's either that or I just smoke myself to death. One of the two. I don't know. Fucking David Letterman.
I was gonna say,
here.
Just throwing pens.
But yeah, episode 5, which is if I wrecked this, I'm sorry. The title is called Journey into Mystery.
Yes.
Which is actually the comic line which Thor and Loki made their first appearances.
Oh,
little tidbit there. Yeah. It took me about half of the episode before I was like, oh, that's where I know that name from.
All right. Which makes sense because I was looking up a lot of things that I saw that I was like, this can't just be a random thing. So it feels like there's a lot of Easter eggs.
This episode is littered with Easter eggs. Like, I think out of all the 3 shows we've had so far, this episode has like quadrupled the amount of Easter eggs that any other episode or show in general has had.
Easily.
And it's a lot of like comic book reference stuff that like the comic book fans would see and would just like go gaga over. Like there was the Thanos copter.
Yeah.
That was like one of the earliest senses of like Marvel trying to get that marketing boom in there so that they can make a toy of the Thanos copter. But I seen that and I was like, that's ridiculous. And then you have Thorg, the Thor frog.
That's the one I caught that I was like, this can't just be a random occurrence. And I looked it up and I was like, is this because they're doing Titans? Are we going to get a Pet Avengers sideshow here?
Man, that would be good.
I'd show up for it.
I would show up for it 100%. Yeah, but there was him. There's a quad. Like I said, there were so many Easter eggs. Like even the Loki that had the president's thing.
Yep.
That's an Easter egg from the comics, and actually probably one of my like favorite covers of all time. I think it was Captain America. I could be completely wrong, but I know Sam Falcon Captain America is in the background of that one because he's kind of like putting his head down, like, oh Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And yeah, like. I can't. I would literally have to sit down and give a list or watch the episode while we're talking about it to go, oh, there's that one because there was that many. So initial thoughts of this jam-packed, theatrical, action-packed, all other kind of nouns to describe this episode. What are your thoughts?
Oh, we already know how you feel. You're very excited right now.
I'm very excited about this one.
I loved it. Like you said, it really redeemed itself from episode 3. It really made up for any slow bits that we had previously. A lot happened, and we got a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of moments, and we're going to talk about a few of them later that I am still on the edge about. Not totally sure, but we'll figure it out.
Interesting.
But I liked it, and I want to watch it again. I've already watched it twice, and I want to see one more time because I feel like I missed a lot.
I would say that I probably watched it like 1.25 times.
Okay.
because as if you watch this on YouTube, you know that I put the clips in, so I have to watch it over again to get the stuff to put the clips in. So this was probably one, and I haven't really done it since Falcon and the Winter Soldier reviews, where I didn't just play it, record it, and walk away.
Yeah.
Like I actually sat there and I rewatched it again. I was just like, man, this episode was so good. This episode was so freaking good. I cannot get over how good this episode was, because like, I just thought, for me, this Loki series has been a really slow burn.
Yeah.
Like, I like Tom Hiddleston. I like the Loki character, but I'm not gaga over it like everybody else seems to be. Like, they're just like completely in love with Tom Hiddleston. And I'm like, yeah, he's a really good actor, and he's a lot of fun as Loki. But like, people are just like, I don't know. Their attitudes portray it as like the end all be all of the Marvel cinematic universe. I'm like, like,
yeah.
I feel he's on the same level as everybody else. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think that he's like surpassed like RDJ or Chris Evans or anything like that. But they also have those very iconic roles. So I don't know.
Yeah. For me, it's been like a bridge series. So with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we knew there was going to be, or there were theories that there was going to be a big reveal, that we were going to get Sam as captain.
Right.
And then even with WandaVision, it was just, okay, what are we going to do with this? It feels like there's going to be big developments with Wanda, just knowing that, multiverse was coming out. So it was like, okay, well, is it going to be something with that? Is she going to line that up, knowing a bit about Wanda's background? But with Loki, I truly feel like this was one that no one was totally sure of what it was bridging to. But now I think now we've got it. It's a little more clear, of course, now. But going in with the expectation of like, well, okay, where are they going to take this? Like, are all roads leading to multiverse, or
right? Yeah.
Like, what exactly is this setting up for it? Like, what does Loki have to do with this?
And why are they?
What's going on?
Why are they using Loki as like the vehicle to get to this?
Exactly. It just seemed like like a very sideways way to get there.
Yeah.
Like, they took a character that they knew people would engage with because they like the actor and they like how the actor portrays it, but not necessarily something that was an obvious choice to move that storyline forward. So yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. Of like, it's not one that I wake up every morning and go, oh yeah, Loki's coming out. But now I think I'm pretty excited with one episode left.
With one episode left, yeah, exactly. Now that's kind of the weird thing, right? When Endgame happened and we see him escape, I was like, I think at that point we knew a Loki show was coming. I can't remember if we did or didn't. It was too long ago now. So there was that whole aspect, right? Like, oh wait, so that Loki just escaped. How does that play out? Like, how's it play into everything? Like, are you just gonna kind of just write this off? It was just a cheap choke.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they actually flushed that out, with the show. And I had zero expectations, zero idea where all this was leading to. I think I said it before. Going into this, I had no idea about much of the TVA. I had a month or 2 months to kind of like do some reading up and go, okay, like what's this and who is this and what do they do? So I was able to do some of that. So I wasn't completely blind going into all this. And it was just one of those things where I was like, okay, well, Loki's starting. Let's see how this plays out. Because episode 1 was just episode 1. It was just an episode 1 release. It wasn't until after episode 1 going into 2, and then kind of during the week of 2 where things started to get dropped, like, oh, like this is going to be this is going to be huge. It's going to unravel all this other stuff, like really talking this series up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, like, yeah, you really haven't lied to us yet. So I'll bite on this and see what you got, and then we got episode 3. And I was like, dude, what is going on? Like,
out of a 6-episode run, this is where we're at.
Yeah.
This is how we're doing this.
Yeah.
Okay.
You would expect like the midway marker to be that spot where like things are already starting to kind of unravel, and you're seeing how things are going to start to kind of move forward. But at episode 3, it was still like, I would say, in the first couple steps.
Well, I mean, I guess time and stories move differently in the TVA.
It's true. It's true. It's true. And so many secrets are still left to be unrevealed.
Truly. And is episode 6, is it going to be 3 hours long? Because I feel like that's what we need.
My goodness.
To tie it all together. I'm a little concerned.
I could see episode 3 being like 2 hours long or an hour and a half long, because each of these episodes has been an hour.
Yeah.
They have not been short episodes like Falcon and the Winter Soldier had a couple, like I think half-hour ones and 40-minute ones. WandaVision, the same thing. These have all been like right at the cusp of an hour.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting personally a longer 6th episode, because we're right there. They're about to find out what's going on, and so how much more do we have left to unravel?
Yeah.
Besides that, because like, even with like side characters, you got to really think that like with these shows, technically, because all of the MCU is the MCU and they're doing all this stuff, they don't have to wrap up every single solitary storyline. They just have to open that book and finish Loki out and wrap it up over there at that movie or over there at that show.
Yep.
So like it's such a weird aspect. It's a weird new aspect, because like everything we've known up to this point in our lives, season premiere, season finale, ends the storyline of the season. But with these shows, they're taking it in a whole different way, where there's season premiere, season finale, and you wrap up one aspect of the show.
Yeah.
And there's so much more to explore, because we have this as a universe.
Yep.
And there's so much time to unravel all the rest of it, that they're not rushing to just tie up all the loose ends. Like Falcon the Winter Soldier, I think, gave us more loose ends than what we started with.
It feels like, yeah.
So, I mean, it's a crazy aspect, because I'm still even sitting there going, oh man, we got this to wrap up, this and that. And I go, wait, whoa. And then I think back, Falcon the Winter Soldier was a big one. WandaVision just kind of had the one. But Falcon the Winter Soldier was a big one that had multiple loose ends. Storylines not tied up, not concluded. And I go, oh yeah, I guess we don't really have to.
Yeah. Because
we'll see all these characters at a later point. So what need is there to wrap it up right in this season of like 6 episodes or 7 episodes, however many episodes they decide? So yeah, no, it's a really exciting thing to think about. I mean, a lot of people I'm sure are like, ugh, I don't know why they just can't give it to me now. And I'm just like, dude, I'm okay. Especially after some other things came to light this week. And it's like, it's one of those things where I'm really okay. Like, you're building towards something happening, and it's pretty exciting, and I cannot wait to see what happens.
Exactly.
Anyways, let's get right into your number 1 moment.
All right, so the first one on my list here, I'm not sure if it's a big thing, but it gave me pause. I just want to talk about it. What is this about Kid Loki's Nexus event? He killed Thor?
He killed Thor.
Casual. He's like, yeah, I just killed Thor.
He was almost boastful about it.
I know.
Oh, what was your Nexus event? I killed Thor.
Yeah.
And it's I mean, that's kind of the thing.
Is it going to be addressed within this universe, within this story? Or is it just going to be one of those things out there like, yeah, in another timeline, Loki kills Thor, and you gotta use your imagination to figure out what happened.
I don't know if they'll ever if they do, cool, but I can't really see them playing out Kid Loki's character. I feel like this is just kind of one of those Easter egg for the comic lover.
Maybe that's what it is. But I was like, hold up, really?
I mean, it all kind of comes together at the 6th episode. Like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah,
there's a lot happened. And a lot of stuff, like I keep saying, but yeah, no, like, I mean, that's multiverse theory in a nutshell.
True. That's true.
There's at least one, if not multiple timelines where Loki kills Thor out of vengeance, out of jealousy, or whatever be the cause. Thor has always been something that has stopped him from his what's he say?
Glorious purpose.
Glorious purpose. Yeah. He's always been a key aspect of stopping him from, taking the throne, or stopping him from like ruling Asgard, ruling Midgard, ruling all guards. And so like it's just kind of one of those things. Like for me, I sit there and go, oh yeah, that makes total sense. Like, of course there's going to be at least one timeline where Loki gets so pissed off that he kills Thor, and then he's able to, finally get closer or obtain said goal.
Yeah.
The thing about him killing Thor, though, is I can't remember completely. And if you remember, please comment down below and let me know if that event brings about the beginning of Ragnarok. Because like that's the thing, is Ragnarok is the end. It's the end of days. It's revelations for the religious. So when Ragnarok happens, it's essentially a cleanse.
Yeah.
And then Asgard reforms. Like that, one of my favorite moments in the comics is Ragnarok happens and then Asgard reforms over, I think it's like Kentucky or something like that. Like in the air, floating over Kentucky. It's a fantastic. I love it. It's probably one of my favorite Thor moments is that new series arc. So yeah, I mean, I don't have an answer. I don't have an answer for you if they're going to explore it or not. I kind of don't think they will, because it was almost like a one and done. He says it and it's never mentioned again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even Tom Hiddleston Loki doesn't dig deeper into it. I don't know if he wants to, because I feel like our Loki that in this show that we now know went through all that character development we've seen over these past 10 years. Like he's I feel like he's at the point, if not past the point, of Endgame or Infinity War Loki.
Yeah.
So he's grown quite a bit in these 6 episodes.
And I mean, he doesn't even question the existence of crocodile Loki, alligator Loki, whatever animal it is. So yeah, he's real mature now. Yeah,
he's accepted it. By the way, alligator Loki, I'm gonna buy so much merchandise of alligator Loki. Yeah. It's gonna be ridiculous.
If they don't have that weight, like how they got the shoulder Groots and everything in the parks merch, they better have a shoulder alligator Loki by the time we make it out to Avengers Campus, or
they better. But
I'm going to be severely disappointed, Disney.
TSA is going to check my luggage on the way back, and they're just going to find a bunch of alligator Loki stuff.
Yeah, I'd be like, lightsaber, alligator Loki,
this man
droid.
What
is this robotic spider that looks like Iron Man?
I am so excited to get one of those. Oh my God, you talk about the little I am totally 120% getting one of them.
Are you getting the web slingers ride?
Of course.
Okay, of course you are. Yep.
I'm going to spend so much money at Avengers Campus. It's ridiculous.
So he's got to GoFundMe for his California vacation.
And if you want to become a Patreon of Kapowcast, head over to patreon.com/Kapowcast. Kid Loki, no idea. I don't think they're going to elaborate. If they do, then I'll be really surprised.
All right. Well, I'm a little hopeful that maybe we'll get a little something out of that. But I mean, like a flashback, like a tiny little baby flashback, I'll take it.
A little something. All right, so what's the number 2?
Number 2 is Mobius Lives. I was so excited that Moby, our boy, came back. And of all things, driving a pizza delivery car, which, you know what? Ka-chow. All right, Mobius?
Okay, so I want to ask you this, because I was sitting there watching it, and I said it out loud, but nobody responded. The pizza delivery car, do you think that's a shout out to Toy Story? Like kind of a mild one? Pizza Planet?
I don't know.
Because
I feel it's the Cars is a Pixar film.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like it's a stretch, because if you look at the Pizza Planet car, it's nothing like
the because it's like a little pickup truck, it's a white pickup.
With a rocket ship on top of it. But,
I don't know. Maybe?
It was just so obnoxious, like with the little spring and it's like springing back and forth.
I just wish that we had a voiceover of him talking while he was driving the car a little bit more, so that we could be like, hold up.
So you can see
Lightning
the car moving.
McQueen. But we didn't get it. We won't get a wow, and we
Nope.
won't get a ka-chow. What are we gonna get from you?
So when he made his on-screen re-debut, I did let out a cheer in my living room. I was very excited to see him again, just because I'm the same guy that at the end of Infinity War, when they all got dusted, I lost my mind and I said, "There's no absolute that they're coming back." So it played in again. Like I was like, okay, yeah, Loki's alive, but we don't know if Owen Wilson's alive. And to see him again, I was very excited. And then I got even more excited when I heard the newest fan theory online this week. Newest fan theory that I've heard is that Mobius is a variant for Howard Stark. And then I did the side by side, like I took my phone,
The little mustache.
Yep, and the hair, and the charisma. Like it's not the same charisma, but there's charisma there. And how he carries himself. And he kind of does that like Howard, like kind of like head waddle when he's talking.
Yeah, and what is Howard Stark's favorite alcoholic beverage? If it's Scott, what do they drink? Do they whiskey? Is that
I think it's like a bourbon.
Okay.
So like, yeah.
It's a brown liquor though.
It's a brown liquor.
I'll take it. It's close enough for me.
But I was pretty excited because obviously that draws two shows together, and especially something that connects a Stark with a show.
Yeah.
I'm all about it because I love the Starks.
Yeah.
So yeah, Owen Wilson showing up was probably a very grandiose moment, and glad to see he makes it back out too.
Yes. Yeah. With the 10 pad and
Yes.
just is like, all right, I'm peacing out.
And the
You guys
hug.
have fun. And the hug.
Oh, the hug.
It was real cute. I was like, oh, the boys is back.
It was like that's why I say that this Loki has grown more than the Infinity War Loki, because like Infinity War Loki would have just kind of like, I don't even think he would have given the handshake. He would just been snarky, like, Loki always is. But this Loki has like seen and done things that Loki didn't even remotely think about.
Yep.
Like that Loki knows in that timeline he is gonna die. So this one almost feels like he's learning, okay, I'm not gonna miss out on anything. I'm not gonna take anything for granted. Like I'm gonna tell individuals how I actually feel. I don't want anybody to think that like I'm just this piece of garbage that tries to escape all the time. So Mobius he puts his hand out for the handshake, and Loki just is like, he thinks about it and he goes in and just gets a hug. God damn, my heart, the Grinch.
I was going to say, and his
Three
heart
sizes.
grew 3 sizes that day.
It was a very touching moment, especially because like knowing that character of Loki, knowing how like maniacal and just kind of cast in shadow he is. You never really know what he's thinking, how he's feeling, always hiding.
Exactly.
To see that happen, to really, and oh man, and the paranoid part of me always kicks in afterwards. I go, oh, Mobius better not be the one behind all of this and like break Loki's heart, because like that'll hurt everybody involved. That'll hurt the viewer. That'll hurt me. There won't be a 6. There won't be an episode 6 review because I'll just be sick in bed from the betrayal that happened.
Yeah.
So number 3, I guess.
Number 3. All right. So this one, I mean, there's a lot that happened in this episode, and this one I've gone back and forth about. It's definitely, I mean, it started off as something I just wanted to touch on, but then I was like, you know what? Forget about it. We're just going to make it a moment. And it is the conjuring of the blanket moment, but not for the reason I think people will think. I'm actually a little upset about it because I was very happy with this whole, like, and Mobius talked about it, and this whole, like the Nexus event being you falling in love with yourself sort of storyline that we're getting, at least in episode 3 and 4, to turn it into this like tensiony romantic whatever is happening in this one. I'm not a huge fan of it because I really liked the exploration of Loki discovering he's garbage, but falling in love with himself regardless because he realizes he can change, especially in observing Sylvie and getting this admiration for her in that Sylvie is a part of him as much as he's a part of her. So it's not necessarily that he's like romantically in love with Sylvie, but more so he's platonically in love with himself at this point. And this whole like, all right, Marvel secret therapy throughout all these series, right? It's this whole idea of like the best way to destroy something or the best way to destroy evil is to truly like love and accept yourself. Mm-hmm. We're getting real deep in the messages here this week.
Even if your self is an actual like other self from a multiverse timeline.
Yeah, they're getting real obvious with the metaphors on this one, but it still works. But I really like that. And so this weird scene where, and it's, I mean, I'm also the person that feels that the kiss between Ray and Ben was gratuitous and garbage. So that may also be why I'm like, this is weird. I don't like it.
All three of those movies were garbage. I'll stand my ground to the day I die. All three of the sequel movies are just trash. Like that whole moment underneath the Loki blanket.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that when my friends are being affectionate towards their significant others, I revert back to my 16-year-old self and go, can you guys get a room? Like this is disgusting.
It's
Stop
true,
it.
But then he also loves watching The Notebook, so don't let him lie to you.
It's true. What do you want? What do you want?
It might just be Ryan Gosling.
It's
that
Ryan,
might be the fuel
100%.
behind that one. But
if MCU, if Marvel casts Ryan Gosling in a movie, you could bet your sweet ass I'll buy every ticket in a theater.
That's the trick to getting those seats filled post coronavirus.
Yep. Get Gosling in.
Get Gosling in the MCU.
It all made sense when it was part of the plot, but the subplot that is now kind of turned into, unless maybe it plays out a different way, we don't know.
I know. Yeah, that's my hope. Is we've got this like weird, undefined. They've like talked about it, but not talked about it. We're still not totally sure if it's like a romantical thing or not. They could still take it back to like not being that way. And I hope that they do, just because, I don't know, like I said, I am much more a fan of the whole like Loki having a new appreciation and admiration for himself by seeing Sylvie through his own eyes, knowing what he knows about himself now, and understanding that he can change and understanding that he can have those character foundational properties that Sylvie has that he really wishes he did have.
Right.
So that would be the way that I want them to continue going with it and exploring, because I feel like that feels more like character growth to me than him falling in love with Sylvie because she's
exactly
Sylvie. And
the other thing I was thinking about with this whole thing is they're keeping it going because the only way to close out the series is the ultimate sacrifice storyline.
Yeah, and it's so here's a fan theory I ran across as well.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't give it too much thought because I was like, this feels, I don't know, not
like
worth.
It was reaching.
Yeah. Somebody said that each of the episodes stands for a different infinity stone.
Oh, I read a little bit about this.
Yeah. So like I said, I didn't dive too deep into it, but mentioning of this ultimate sacrifice, is episode 6 going to be the soul stone episode? I don't know.
I'm not going to spend too much time on this, and I'm really interested to hear who's your MVP.
Okay. This was another difficult one for me because I was like, all right, I feel like it's a bit controversial, and it's not because I support her and her mission, but I think she's a key player in where this is going. My MVP is Ravenna Renslayer.
Oh,
Ravonna? What is
get out?
Renslayer is the MVP. And I said, it's not because I support her. It's not because I like her. It's not because I like her. I don't like her.
She is a conniving bitch.
Garbage. But I think she's going to be important to where this is going.
I only remember her from a select amount of Marvel issues. She does have a pivotal moment in a story arc, but it's not a good one.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's a boo-boo. And I'm not going to tell you because it could give something away.
Yeah. Well, I've already looked up the good old Marvel encyclopedia.
Oh, you decided to go that way?
Yeah, just to see. I was like, all right, what are the possibilities here? Is she big? Is she a big person? So I think that And I don't know if she's going to be like reoccurring after this series, but I think that she's going to be the vehicle to get us to the plot point that leads us into the next point of this story. Because I truly don't think that this is going to be like another Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where there's a crap ton of loose ends that we're like, what the hell is happening? So I think that she is going to lead us that way. And also it was very interesting how she kept flip-flopping between I just want to find out for myself who's in charge of the TVA. At this point, she's just protecting somebody, I think. I want to know what she's getting out of it. What is she going to get out of it?
I think there's a double cast here where she is bound by her duty.
Yeah.
But she also feels the need to find out who's behind it.
Okay.
Because I don't know if she even knows anything. She could. Or maybe I don't know. I that's why I don't trust her. And that's why I'm just like, no, she ain't good. She ain't good, my dude.
No. I think that's why it's my lack of trust in that I think that she fully knows who it is and she's getting something out of it, because I personally think everyone is motivated by their best interest in a situation. So her best interest is to protect whoever it is.
Right. And I was just thinking about the moment she asks Miss Minutes when they walk out to everything about the beginning of time.
Yeah.
And basically stresses, whoever has created the TVA is in trouble. I need to know who it is. And then she does that little smirk after Miss Minutes disappears. And I'm just like, who are you? What do you know? And what do you want? Because there's so much going on between the flashback in episode 3 where she, first gets Sylvie and then lets her go.
Yeah.
Like, she let her go. No doubt. She let her go. I'm sorry.
As a little girl, you could have like tackled her real fast, but you just stood there staring and you're like, no.
And not to mention the standoff in the beginning of this episode.
Yeah.
Like, it was so docile. Like, it was almost like negotiation tactics. Like, she needs Sylvie.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't want Sylvie hurt because she needs her for something. I don't know. There's a lot of shadiness to the character. The actress is doing a fantastic job. And she's doing what Wyatt Russell did.
I was gonna say, it's another John Walker. You love to hate her.
Yeah, and it's another. I feel like she's not getting nearly as much hate, but
no, because I think hers is a more subverted hatred. She's like, you didn't know if you wanted to hate her until probably this episode. Truly, at this point, you're like, okay, she's real sketchy. I don't like her. She's flip-flopping. I don't like flip-floppers. I don't like you if you're wishy-washy. And she just keeps doing stuff that's like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that. And especially if you're going to use Miss Minutes against everybody. No. No. But also, thank God they brought Miss Minutes back for another episode.
Okay. My MVP.
Here we go.
And I cannot believe this man hasn't been brought up yet. And I was just kind of feeling it all out. But classic Loki.
Yes.
Because how can you not name an MVP that makes a construct of all of Asgard?
Yeah.
Holy bananas.
Yeah.
When he did that, it was one of those like Marvel moments where I was just like, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. And so once again, tying back into my Loki falling in love with himself and not just Sylvie because she's there. The fact that he stops and goes, well, I guess that we're stronger than we thought we were. And I said, oh,
yeah.
Look at him loving himself.
Yeah, it was a very big learning experience for Loki getting pruned, but classic Loki, man. Like, that dude, even from like the escaping of the chambers when those like pirate Lokis show up.
I know.
He throws out the constructs of all of them so that they can get out. He opens the portal so they could go through and reach the outside. Like, he was like the Hannibal of the Loki A-team.
Truly.
And it was just great. And also, I was thinking about what you said about what's her face in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
What's her face in Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Madam Hydra. I can't remember the actress's name.
Oh, Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yes, you said Marvel's not going to front this bill for somebody small.
That's what I was thinking. But then I've been looking at some behind the scenes of Richard E. Grant's Twitter, and it sounds like he just has a lot of fun with it. So maybe he was like, somebody sent him the script and he was like, oh yeah, let me throw on those tights and Superman underwear and I'm down to play this character.
It's not.
I don't know, but I also hope that he does come back because classic Loki is very fun. It's not, another like drunk Loki.
Yeah. What he did, like when that construct came forward, I was like, at first, it was like a growth of excitement, right? Because to this moment, we've never seen any Loki do something like that.
No.
And so like this construct starts to form, and I'm just like, wait, what is this? Like, what's going on? And I'm like, oh, whoa, like something's like it's a building. And then like the center, the palace of Asgard comes up. I go, oh my God, it's fucking Asgard.
Yeah.
And then you just see old man Loki in the center. I'm just like, this dude rocks. I love him.
Yeah. And it starts off as, I don't know, at least my initial thought was, oh, well, he's just going to build like, like a real quick like facade of it. But then as this, I forget the name of the monster because we're good with names here. As it starts like destroying parts of it, it just keeps rebuilding. And so you see that it's this like fully formed, full-fledged construct of it. And that was when I was like, oh, this is big.
It's a big deal. Also, by the way, don't know if you noticed or seen anything online. Kid Loki drinking that Ecto Cooler.
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, I'm going to have to show it to you when we get done. But yeah, he's drinking Ecto Cooler when they're in their little...
In the little cave, the little hideout.
Cave.
Man.
It was really funny because like I'm watching it and I'm like, just, watching it. And I don't know what it is. If it's like the Ghostbusters fan in me. And it must be because like all the Ghostbusters groups and stuff, like Thursday, all of them were like, did you see, anybody see this? Anybody see this? I don't know if anybody watches. Did you see that kid Loki's drinking Ecto Cooler? But I don't know. It's something with those colors or something. I go, whoa, wait, was that Ecto Cooler? Is he drinking Ecto Cooler? And I rewound it and I was like, that is 120%. That is Ecto Cooler. And I think I can't remember the re-release box, but I think it's like the original Ecto Cooler box from like the 90s.
Oh.
And I'm just like, oh my goodness.
So when, maybe you'll know this off the top of your head, maybe not. When was the Kid Loki storyline written? In the 90s?
It wasn't that far back, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
I want to
say maybe the Easter eggs that we see in addition tie into something. I don't know. I feel like I need to rewatch it again and just pay closer attention to like the outside.
There's a lot
little Easter egg things. There's there's so much going on.
Avengers Tower. It doesn't say Avengers Tower.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what it says?
No.
It says basically it's the company name that Stark Industries has switched when Stark sells the company to Kang, which turns out to be Kang the Conqueror.
Oh.
I can never remember the damn name of the business.
Is it the Rocks?
No.
That's Ant-Man, right?
I don't remember where that one was from. But no, it was yes, and then there was something else. There was another business that says something along the lines pointing to Kang the Conqueror.
This is going to be another Mephisto moment, I think.
I don't know. There's a lot.
Because everyone's like, the locust on the curtain, it's going to be Mephisto.
Right. Okay,
it feels too obvious. I feel like Marvel's going to be like, haha, dummies.
But like, it's only obvious to the people that know. That's the thing.
Yeah, but I feel like that was also Mephisto.
Yeah, that was because the locust ordeal was kind of the thing with like.
Yeah, and like the tying into the Nicholas Scratch, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, that is true. That is true.
It got very detailed for comic people.
I did also forget that there was casting confirmation not too long back for Kang the Conqueror and Ant-Man.
Yes, so that was the thing that I double checked because I heard mention of Ant-Man tying into maybe this series because each series has kind of tied into one of our major movie releases coming up. So WandaVision is the multiverse,
right?
And Doctor Strange. Falcon and the Winter Soldier is. Are we supposed to get a new Captain America movie as well with Sam as Captain America?
They announced it after the show.
Okay. And then this one I had heard was tied into Ant-Man with Kang the Conqueror having been, which is part of feeding a lot of the fan theories about Kang being the big baddie for this one.
Right. So, I mean, obviously, I'm excited for King the Conqueror. If it is King the Conqueror, because that's one villain. I said it last week that I'm like, yeah, 100%, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'll take that over Mephisto any day of the week. And sorry, not sorry. Like, I just think King the Conqueror is way cooler than Mephisto. But that is just me. I'm only one person. But yeah, so solid MVPs. So I'm trying to think of anything else that maybe I would want to talk about right now, other than the flaming sword, which is also more Greek mythology.
Yes, I caught that one because I was very obsessed with Greek mythology in 5th grade. Yeah, that was I
was very excited about that. It also dips into, is it Catholic, where Loki's the angel of death? Is that what it is? I don't remember if it's. I don't know. I Christianity, Catholic, and everything.
Maybe controversial statement, but most religions have roots in the same storylines.
But yeah, no. Loki has the fiery sword in one of the religious backgrounds of the angel Loki.
Yes.
But yeah, I guess I'll close it out. Episode 5, man. Unless there's something else that you want to talk about right quick.
I mean, I don't think so. I'll think of it next week. Yeah. Because that's what always happens.
Yeah, there's always a carryover. It's called a transitional period.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you haven't yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button, that bell for notifications, so you're notified every time something drops over here on the channel. Lots coming your way. Stay tuned later this week for our Black Widow review. Spoilers. There's your warning in case I forget to tell you at the very beginning of that show. And if you want to become a Patreon, head over to patreon.com/Kapowcast. $1 a month, $12 a year. You can help us keep this ship running.
Don't make us start playing that Sarah McLachlan song. Oh yeah, it's copyrighted.
Yep.
I'm not gonna think of.
Yeah,
nope.
you
know what we're talking about. You know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And as promised in every single review series I've done, what is it, 2 of them? I might show up with a special little surprise next week. We're gonna try to make it happen.
Oh, okay. Kind of like when you busted through the boxes.
When I busted through the boxes.
Okay.
I'm a man of my word.
She is. But until next week, when we get the series finale, episode 6.
I don't know if I'm ready for it.
I don't know if I'm ready for it either.
Mentally or emotionally.
All I know is I'm glad you're not moving this time.
Yeah. 0 out of 10. Do not recommend. Don't move during a Marvel Cinematic Universe series finale.
It just messes everything up to the point where the episode is not released.
Yeah, maybe
one day.
We did record it.
Yeah.
Maybe you can make it like a Patreon special or something.
Maybe. Yeah, only exclusively for the Patreons. But yep, that'll do it for this week. I've been Tony. I'm pretty sure that's still Christy.
Maybe. Who knows?
And we'll see you guys next week for episode 6.
Bye-bye.